Ba da ba ba ba. Cuckoo. 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 Yeah. Event begin in 0. Okay. Well, 0 mean go now. Why you not go now? It's okay. I'll just go back to my page and reload it and see what happens. Yeah, that's what I figured. So silly. Yeah. Event begin in 0. Okay. Well, 0 mean go now. Why you not go now? It's okay. I'll just go back to my page and reload it and see what happens. Yeah, that's what I figured. So silly. Yeah. Event begin in 0. Okay. Well, 0 mean go now. Why you not go now? It's okay. I'll just go back to my page and reload it and see what happens. Yeah, that's what I figured. So silly. Yeah. Event begin in 0. Okay. Well, 0 mean go now. Why you not go now? It's okay. I'll just go back to my page and reload. It's kind of a weak ass loop that I got going there. I've done better. Hi everyone. How is everyone doing today? How many everyone's are there? We don't even know. Am I actually streaming? I believe so because I'm watching it on my phone. Voila! Hi, Carrie. I'm going to turn that down since I clearly have it going. Boink. All right. Good to go. I don't want to surprise anyone, but it's hot. I got some good air movement or some decent air movement. We're sitting at 92 degrees and 58% humidity here in the shop. It's hot. It's not as hot as it could be though. Hey, there's that. Welcome in, Tom. Good to see you. Beard Grooves, DJ Real One, and Carrie, also known as Rob's neighbor. 2-4. How's it going? Hope everybody's doing good today. Staying cool as possible. Which reminds me, speaking of cool, 5-4. Commencing lavender aromatherapy shutdown. Kifa, welcome in. Since he isn't here to say it, it is hotter than a crotch. Indeed. Sick messaged me a little while ago about the stream. He should be in here any moment. Unless he found something better to do, which is also possible and not frowned upon. You are free to do whatever you want. There are no requirements to the Schmoke Shop channel. The only requirement I have is that the eMeet Pixie tracking camera actually track. That's useful. Wes does it. 78 with 84% humidity. I won't complain. 78 with 84% humidity and a fan is pretty awesome, actually. At that temperature, the humidity is actually helpful, I think. Anyhow, I have a new addiction, kids. I guess it was on sale. I don't know if it's this week or last week. I think it's last week, unfortunately. But Arizona green tea is like, it was cheap. I want to say it was $6 a 12-pack or something. It was cheap. So it's my newest addiction. As opposed to not having cheesy guy laugh repetitively. Oh man. And you could really slam the stuff out of them. It's kind of dangerous. I have so much freaking cardboard right now. I'm going to have to make a dedicated run to a cardboard recycler and see if they pay me. Maybe. Sick bastard. Boo, 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 boo. I don't know. That was a different one. It was a different horn. Chicken. Hope everybody again is having a good Sunday here live at Schmoke Shop. Wes, you'll be happy to know, by the way, I did not use the butyl tape at all, and I only used the Henry Clear that you recommended. Crystal clear. My favorite dancer, crystal clear. Boink, boink. Perfect framing. Anyway. Butyl tape. It was just there, so I figured I'd show you. I'm actually kind of trying to get to the solar panel because we are at the point to install 2 solar panels. We're going to go swimming later. Excellent, excellent. That is delicious. Try the apple green tea if you can find it. Word. Sunday fun day with Schmokes. Tripolymer for tripolymer for the win. Yeah, I like the way it laid. I was able to put a thick standing bead basically, and I did a perimeter, a second perimeter, and then an extra spot in a couple places I wanted to by the holes, screw holes. And yeah, settled it in there like a tile bed almost. So it should be fine. I actually also, there was a couple spots I was concerned about, so I went on the outside while it was still wet, so it should have all unified, bonded together. We're going to go with a Igor. Welcome in, my friend. We're going to go with a transition to Tina Cam. I have 0 air movement in the van, unfortunately. I'm going to climb in here and see if I can remedy that relatively easily. I mean, I can turn on the air conditioner. Ha ha ha! Ah, cheesy guy, you are all up in here today, huh? Yes, I am, Schmoke. Ha ha ha! Okay. That's really probably not going to move enough air to actually accomplish anything. But we're going to try it anyway. I'm just going to stick it in there like that. It's not doing what I want it to do. Ah, snot either. Snot. It's just snot. Oh, look, I have another 12-pack of tea. I can put it on there. Oh, I turned it off. Okay. Now there might be at least a little bit of air movement. A lot of light, that's for sure. A deer in the headlights. Yes, indeed. Indeed. What's up, Luke? Good to see you, my friend. Good morning, Sterling. I might be near a tornado currently. Excellent. That could be dangerous. And or fun. Mr. Burberry, good to see you. Welcome in. Smoking and lurking. Smoking and lurking and lurking and smoking. Boop, 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 boop. Now, we do actually have air conditioning at this point. However, our drain line, the drain in Spain falls mainly on the plane. The drain line right now is just dumping onto the floor, which I'm not going to turn it on for that exact reason. Tina, if you bite me... Oh, I guess I can see what you can see. I was going to say, I don't know what you can see. If I point you up a little bit higher, you can actually see one of my issues. It's not an issue, but it's something that's needing of I don't know what I'm trying to say. There we go. Sorry about the bright lights. In need of attention. Um, Basically, these are my refrigerant lines. If the van is hot and I turn on this air conditioner, this suction line sweats immediately. The other thing is I could actually take some more of this hose from the roof. I think that's my fingers crossing. Um, Not that I need more in here, but less out there flapping around. It means more stabilization up top. I did go and visit a. Well, I'm not. It's not a secret. I went and visited Sick Bastard and Key Fob, and they're an hour and a half away. Um, the air conditioner was fine on the roof, made really no noises. The only noise that I had was that these two wires flapping and tapping against the side wall. That's the only real noise perceptible that I found, and that's obviously an easy solution. So that's got to be strapped up. These hoses, once I get everything that I'm going to have down here, need to be strapped, and I'm going to insulate them. And I'd like to get this roof panel back up. That's going to be a fun one. Being close to a twister ain't that bad. Being in it is a little less fun. I would agree. If the suction line is sweating, then is it really working at it? Oh yeah. Have a good stream, Schmoke. Everyone be sure to like and subscribe to the host, as he's a good man. If you like what you see, please give the stream a like if you're enjoying it. Thanks, Luke. I appreciate it. Sorry, I'm trying not to look directly at the super bright light right there. There's super bright light everywhere. Everywhere. Super bright light. Super bright light everywhere. Illuminate. Motion detection. So what? A long story short, what I would like to do, and I'm not it's hot. Have I mentioned it's hot? Anyhow, what I would like to do, and it's not necessarily going to happen right now, is figure out a route to get the drain line out. Everybody shout. Boop, boop, boop. There are a few body plugs underneath there. However, I'm not seeing anything easily that's a direct access. What I do have is an orthoscopic, not an orthoscope, well, whatever it's called, I think it would, in surgery it would be called orthoscopic, but a camera, a gooseneck camera. And that would allow me to kind of look around to places where I could feed the hose. Feed the hose, or else, never mind. Oh, I just turned on the solar. Good thing there's none hooked up. Or not good. I don't know. La 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 la. Suction line sweats due to the humidity. Sorry, Beard, I didn't see it. Not sure why. I'm not very computer savvy. Got the mad rhymes. Right, Beard. Yes. Correct. Yes. I'm assuming that you were explaining that to Keepop. I think he realized that he was being witty. I believe he was being witty. With much wit. So, I mean, I could, just to turn it on for the sake of turning it on, theoretically I could feed that right out there. And, you know, the suction line, again, is going to sweat like crazy. But, oh look, I found a lucky clover. Can I get it? Give me the clover. Get over here. Oh, I'm going to throw my back out trying to get a stupid piece of jewelry. Anywho. mean, I have no real reason to turn on the air conditioning other than to make noises. Just got back from one of my local Cars and Coffee car meets and spotted a massive classic VW bug enthusiast community. Schmoke's fix your bug and you can sell it and make bank on it. Oh, I'm not gonna fix it. I can't afford to fix it, and if I fix it, I won't make bank on it. But yes, there is a huge community, and it has value for sure. Sorry about that. I did check, but not sure why it's not there. Thanks, Beard. What we don't want to see is the van lights dim as he is playing with wires. I like to hit up Cars and Coffee. Yeah, the thing, my issue with Cars and Coffee is car shows now are... Alright, we are going to turn this on, actually. Not necessarily the air conditioner, but I want to get a fan because I'm just sitting here drip sweating. So, beep, boop, boop, boop. We're going to utilize power. Utilizing power. Power utilization. Fan engaged. Y'all can't see that, but there's numbers and stuff. Lots of numbers. You can't see them. I guarantee it. Less than 1 amp. 0.89 amps. And that would be the screen and the fan. Oh, the fan. Moto Bomb, Virginia. Shaggy Mane, what's going on? Welcome in, guys. Good to see you. Pardon me if I'm blowing the fan right onto the... Oh, yeah, I'm just literally drip sweating. Microphone. I go to Cars and Coffee meets on a regular basis, but usually to exotic car meets. Decided to go see older classics. I used to be real into the car scene when I was in my late teens to early 20s, I would say. I actually was the co-president of one of the, at the time it was one of the largest car clubs in Jacksonville, and the club that we dissolved into actually still exists today. Just a little bit of air movement helps so much. Anyhow, alright, so now we've cooled off a little bit. I'm not going to necessarily turn on... What am I trying to say? All good on the windage on the mic. That's cool, Schmoke. Right on. What I need to do is buy another fan. They're just expensive for good big fans. I mean, they're like especially if you buy them in the middle of the summer, $150 to get a decent fan. One thing we could do, if I wanted to actually accomplish something, is I could run the wire, the physical wire for the solar, the 2 solar panels that I'm going to install. Something interesting that I shouldn't necessarily put out on the internet, but I don't think it's that big of a deal, is that my DC to DC charger, when I turned the system on, the light was blinking, and I called customer service. Long story short, without getting into what light and all that. Called customer service, talked to somebody, explained to them exactly what's going on, sent some pictures. And they said it seems like it's not detecting the battery type. So they sent out another replacement unit. Um, I wired in the replacement unit, and it, of course, did the exact same thing. What I think is the issue that their own customer service doesn't realize is that I don't have a charging circuit hooked up to it yet. I only have the box hooked up to the batteries. It controls charging through the alternator and solar panels, neither of which do I have hooked up. So I think you may actually have to have a charging circuit hooked up for everything to recognize what's going on. If I find out that that is the case, then I may shoot them an email and just, I don't know. I actually need two of them, so I think that's what I'm going to do is just explain to them that, hey, I didn't do this on purpose, but here's some information you might want in your troubleshooting book, because you're the one that sent me this and said the other one wasn't working. This one did the same thing, so it's obviously something else. Anyway, point being, I actually need two of them because each one will handle each one of them will handle 400 watts of solar. And I'm going to have 400 up front and 400 at back, in the back. So, point being, they took care of the problem. They came with a solution to the problem, except they didn't diagnose the problem right, if that makes sense. T1 Wave Mini, thumbs up. Have you slept in the shop for shits and giggles yet? Guess no to the heat. Well, again, I've got air conditioning now, but the first trip I took, again, was out to visit Sick and Key Fob, and that was to make sure that everything was stable and nothing was going to fall off. At this point, yes, I could take it for an overnight. However, what I'd like to do is get at least two of the solar panels up there. I wouldn't mind getting all four up there, but I want to get at least two of them up there and see what kind of power, because right now the only way I can charge is by plugging in. And I want to see what kind of power I can get cycling through the system, because theoretically, if I'm not utilizing the air conditioner during the day, it should be able to charge back fully, and I should be able to run it all night without a problem. Shaggy Mane has slept in the van, yes. It was the perfect time of year, or not in the van, in the garage. He had his van in this same spot. But yeah, it was the perfect time of year. We actually had a fire out front. I don't know if y'all remember that, but we had a live stream with a fire right outside that door. Excuse me. I want to go find that T and move to another position. Because I am, yep. I'm not happy right meow. Excuse me. Hey, cheesy guys over here. I'm going to actually turn that camera, or not turn it off, but disable it so that it doesn't overheat the phone. And then if we want to use it again, we can turn it back on. Turn it back on. Excuse me. God, that was churgly. Tina, you want to come on, buddy. Yay! Tina. Ouch. Did you just bite the microphone? Sorry, I thought it was an insect. I was going to eat it. Hey guys, good to see you. Not that I can't always see you. Tina, don't be creepy. How can I not be creepy? I'm like one of the creepiest things on the face of the planet. Yeah. Yeep, whoop, ah, ha, ha, ha. Yeep, whoop. Welcome in, John P. Good to see you, my friend. Oh. Whew. I actually mm-hmm. I am actually set up spacing wise to put the panels up there in the front. In theory. How heavy and awkward are they? Mm-hmm. Yep. It's one of those things where I could set up and do that. Video lagging behind sound. Video lagging behind sound. Yep. It's one of those things where I could set up and do that. Video lagging behind sound. Video lagging behind sound. Okay, so what happens is that the other camera is on a wireless connection. It's actually not even on a, yeah, I believe it is on the network. So there is a delay, and the easiest way to have it work correctly is just to use this microphone. So the sound from this is real time, and that other one lags a little bit. So yes, if I'm using that other camera and you can see me talking, yeah, you're going to notice that. So there is a delay, and which is one of the reasons I don't use that camera as much. And when it cools off out here, I need to, sorry. We got a loop. Hi, Loopy. Once it cools off and I can get out here and sit in front of the computer and learn the Ubuntu Linux operating system better, then I'll be able to dial in a lot of things. It's not, how do I say, it's not as user friendly, and I mean that I don't mean that in a bad way. I just mean it's not set up for anybody to be able to use. It's more of, for instance, for me to install a program, there are extra steps. It's not just a point, click, boom, your program's installed. I actually have to manually type in some stuff, and it's interesting. I'm interested in learning it. Is your DC charger connected to your starting battery? No, not yet. It will be. I've totally spaced on what I was talking about before that, but it's okay. The DC to DC charger, one of them will be connected to the battery, to the alternator, which is what this wire is for. But this wire is pretty damn expensive. There's enough here to run up, over, and down, and to the thing. It would be a shorter run if I can run down, under, and back in, which would be that same hole that I'm looking for the drain for the air conditioner. So if I can find that hole, which, you know, I was going to grab my drill, but I think it's over there. I have drills. I mean, I'll find the hole. I'll find it if I have to make it myself. But if I can find a factory one that I can utilize, I would prefer to do that. Oh, that's good. I need to get some damn Gatorade. Damn Gatorade, damn Gatorade. I need to get some damn Gatorade. What do you sing it with me, Tina? He needs to get some damn Gatorade. Da 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 da. You were talking about side loading Ubuntu. Ubuntu. I'm not sure what side loading is because I'm not familiar with Linux yet. But Linux is the only Ubuntu is the only operating system now on this computer. I don't know if side loading is the term for loading programs and apps or whatever, but yeah, that's what I need to learn. Sophia, I don't know. I have to come up with a different sound for Sophia. Ding, 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 ding. Actually, I have a bell right here, don't I? You can ring my bell. That's the Sophia bell. Ay, ay, ay. Anyhow, my point being is once I can sit down and get out here and play with the computer. Good to see you, Sophia, by the way. I'm actually just sitting down for a lavender aromatherapy update. I need to update my operating system. I can get the apps that I need. I think they're called apps with Linux. We're just going to 369 because why not? So the camera app that I'm using to remote utilize my Android phones right now is doing it actually over the cellular network. The programs that I have used in the past to do it with my Windows operating system are available for Linux, but again, I have to figure out how to load them in. And then I also can set up, hopefully, my remote. This is my remote. Beep, boop, 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 beep, boop, 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 boop. Via the Stream Deck application on my phone, which will allow me to remotely switch cameras and stuff. Chip Force, welcome in. I'm going to leave that alone, Sophia. So there. Neener, neener, neener. Oh, point being is that I should be able to get a smoother camera setup on my own network once I get everything set up correctly. Which I say every stream, but every stream is a little bit better. I don't think you can deny that. Just saying. What happened? Anything? Hi, all. Hello, Sonia. Oh, no. Oh, my God. Tina, you freaked Pixie out. Tina freaked out Pixie. I could do that better if I just did this. That's what she said. No, wait, what? I need this here, and then that there. And then once that's there and this is here, theoretically I can do that there, and then do that there. And then be like that. Oh my God, that's so bright. Does it help though? Is it live? Is it live? Is Tina more creepy now? Tina, more creepy mode. No, Pixie, come back. Good Pixie. And now experiments with Pixie. Wild and Wavy, welcome in. Taz River Mike, I can't do that. I'm sorry, guys. I know the lighting wasn't a concern for you. I was more concerned about showing Tina, but I can't have that light in my face. That's all. Welcome in. I have nothing nice to say about Patina. Well, if I ship her out to Wales, you better take care of her and send her back after her visit. Anyhow, like I said, welcome in, Wild and Wavy, Mike Taz, Chip Force, Sophia, Tom's. I think that's everybody that just joined us. Good to see everyone. Hope you're having a good Sunday. Currently 93 degrees Fahrenheit, 57% humidity, which really isn't that bad with a little bit of air movement. But it's still hot, and that's all I've got is just a little bit of air movement. But, ooh-wee. The subject matter at hand, I believe, would be the next step of the power system, which is installing the solar panels. Excuse me. I could show you the clamps. That would be kind of exciting. Lower the dynamite! There's that. There's that. And there's one of those. Hey, utilizing clamp technology. This will be fun and exciting for those of you that are interested. So that is C-channel, or what I call Kendorf. It's used for hanging pretty much everything in a commercial job. Your plumbing, your electrical, your air conditioning. It's kind of a little girder system, and I'm top chat. I could be missing comments, guys. That would be really bad. Boing! How many comments have I missed? Doesn't look like any. So, I mentioned it before. I don't think he minds, but Shaggy Mane, basically, after a job, I was able to utilize a little handful, not a little handful, but a stack of Kendorf, C-channel, whatever the heck we're calling this. And as it is a universally used hardware, there are components to mount solar panels and stuff like that to it. So what we have here is a solar panel clamp, and basically this nut goes inside of the rail, and those plastic tabs are just kind of to hold it in place, because a lot of times you can't actually get to it to hold it in place. Excuse me. And basically, once you get the screw started, your panel clamps. I'm trying to see if you can see where my finger would be the panel, and that tightens down and clamps onto the edge of the panel. And so because of that style, I was able to utilize only one rail to install the air conditioner. So I've got the air conditioner on one side, and then I'll have the solar panel on the other side on those middle rails. And it's good and secure. Because I was thinking I was going to have to run another piece of Unistrut C-channel Kendorf. Very hot. So anyway, that is the system that is utilized to clamp down the solar panels. Get the finger out of the way and they can see it better. Ding pong. Clamp down. Whoops. I moved everything the wrong way. Clamp down. Clamp. It's like a monster. I'm gonna eat you. Okay. Just a reminder that Schmoke is not crazy. One reminder. One reminder. I'm dealing with it, utilizing coping mechanisms and such. What? What happened? Very hot. Pretty hot and tempting. Schmoke is absolutely 100% mad as a hatter. How many angry pixies are you planning on capturing with solar? I'm assuming you're asking how many watts of solar. The system, as it stands, will be 800 watts of solar on the roof. I also have an additional 200 watts of solar in a folding panel. So, I don't know if I put a video with a link to that out or not. Doxio. So theoretically, a total of 1,000 watts of solar power. Made you think. Well, I was trying to think if there was a myth or a fantasy whatever where solar panels capture pixies or something. I don't know what I'm trying to say. What is that? Is that a bug on my face? Ah! Tinker power. It's funny you said that right when Hedgie came in. Hi Hedgie, welcome in. I should have some sort of a Hedgie sticker or something nearby. There's one on the wall right here. I thought I had the coin. The coin. The coin of the hedgehog. Oh, there's one. A poker chip. Hedgie poker chip. Bing bong. Representing. Anyhow. Whoop whoop. What's up, Steve? Welcome in. Boogity boogity boogity. Solar power wise. So yes, 800 permanently mounted watts of solar. And I have 400 amp hours of 12 volt batteries. And it is 5,120 watt hours. Definitely 5,120 watt hours. Definitely. And the 12 volt air conditioner that I just installed at max power uses about 600 amps. 600 watts. 600 amps. Oof. Excuse me, but it is a variable speed inverter compressor. So once it reaches a cool temperature, it uses like 50 watts. Or yeah, 50 watts. So it's an initial, power usage thing. But once it cools, it really ramps it down. One of the things I'm immediately seeing is that I'm going to want to do insulation on the van sooner rather than later. For one reason, because it will help with the air conditioning, whether it's heating or cooling. But for another reason, the more of this stuff that I install before I insulate, the harder it's going to be for me to insulate. I think it would be easier for me to get all my insulation in, and if I need to run a wire, pull some insulation out, run the wire, and get it back in there, than trying to work around all this stuff that I'm starting to install. If that makes any sense. But at the beginning of the stream, I mentioned the biggest issue that I'm immediately dealing with is condensate drainage and or the suction line sweating. Because when the van's full of hot, humid air, of course, you know, that cold suction line is immediately sweating and it's running basically across the roof. I should be able to alleviate that using, you know, foam tape insulation and or just slip-on insulation. I don't know how much room I have for actual slip-on insulation. Armaflex. For those of you in the trade, but it's been an interesting experiment, learning process, not experiment, but installing the system. That video is not out yet. It may be this week. I'm not sure. Yeah, again, I'm not sure yet. But I for those of you who don't know, I did HVAC as a trade for years. Only messed with car systems, you know, a little bit on the side because I'm mechanically inclined, and so of course naturally I was expected to learn that. I didn't really learn a lot, but this system that's on the van is basically a 12 volt powered system. There's no belts or anything like that. So it's very interesting, useful information because now I can install these type systems in classic cars and stuff like that, which could be a moneymaker. Please don't use spray foam on unpainted metal. Rust, rust, rust. I don't use spray foam for anything. Good afternoon, Schmoke and everyone. Blessings to all. Hi, Mike. Good to see you. There we go. There she is. Hey, Mike. Good to see you. Boop. Pixie, get down here. Pixie. Pixie. Bad Pixie. Get down here. So yeah, the van insulation. More than likely I'm going to use wool because it is the best from the year plus of research that I've been doing. I may use some foam board. I have some right here, as a matter of fact. I may use some of this and maybe a combination, but more than likely, real wool seems to be the best thing. But no, like this building is I don't even think you can really see it right now, but the building is not spray foamed. None of this is spray foamed. Nothing in this house. The only thing that is spray foamed is where I had to fire block. You have to use that. And some air seal for HVAC for the ceiling of the building itself. The envelope is the word I'm looking for. I utilize some for that, which is what it's actually supposed to be used for. Or trucks. Yes, Wes, absolutely. And that setup, I don't think it's that expensive. We all love Tina. Hippie Sophia does not necessarily love Tina. I don't think it's a hatred thing. I think it's a mutual respect. Wool, you must be rich. Well, Late Apex, as it turns out, it's basically across the board. No matter how you insulate your Sprinter van, it's approximately $327. I'm being sarcastic, but it's right around $350 no matter what you use. And if you're doing anything that's cheaper than that, it's not going to work or it's going to cause problems later. The other issue I have with spray foam is once it's in there, you're screwed. again, what I was talking about earlier. If I want to run a wire down this wall that I just spray foam the entire wall, I now have to chisel out an entire channel to run that wire, which is ridiculous. Rich in ambition. I like that precision. I knew you would as an engineer. Biggity, biggity, biggity. But yes, it's, you know, I mean, I have looked eBay. I can do it cheaper, but either real wool or Thinsulate, the stuff that's in your jacket, 3M Thinsulate, those are basically the two go-to, especially if you're going into cold, which I'm not concerned about going into cold, but the insulation is, if you do it correctly, it should work for either. So, you know, again, it gets into how much time, effort, and money I want to throw at it. If I get a soft bat type material, then it's kind of just a matter of stuffing it into the crevices. If I use something like a sheet material, then all of a sudden I've got to be cutting and shaping and affixing to the flat surfaces of the van. Again, a combination of the two may be what ends up happening. Oh no, never spray foam. Yeah, no. I never understood spray foam. Makes whatever you're working on instantly disposable. Yeah. And again, I wish I had been doing eBay. YouTube, when I built the house, there is some footage. There is a video. I might be able to dig through the footage if I can find the original stock footage. I know I can. And get some better stuff like that. Again, I did make a video about the build, but it was a walkthrough kind of thing more than anything. It didn't show details. And I don't know how much I have of details, but in the framing process, again, in the vapor barrier of the house, vapor barrier, the envelope, I did utilize some spray foam. But other than that, you know, this is, there's some rock wool in the house. I don't remember why. Oh, I think rock wool is for fire blocking also. Whoo, flashbacks. Yeah, that was a hell of a project. I know y'all can't even see what I'm looking at, but I'm looking at the wall to my house. Water, drink water. Good idea. We could switch to the other camera. In theory. In theory. Blink. Blink. Camera activated. Camera engaged. No, just activated, not engaged. Alright, well we have to engage it then. Alright. Engaging alternate camera in 3, 2, 1. Alternate camera engaged. So that's the inside of the van for those of you just joining us. The audio is not necessarily going to be perfectly synced, but it'll be aight. I believe it was Mike Taz was asking about the system. Here's the system. I could even drone mode you. Okay, I gotta put something down. Putting something down. Commencing something getting put down. Boop. Alright, let me get the drone mode activated. Silent mode engaged. Alright, of course don't have my glasses so I can't see a thing. But anyway, it looks like you can see what's going on. Since we're looking at it, we'll do a quick walkthrough. This is an AC to DC charger. Basically, if I plug this cord into an external plug, then it will charge my two 12-volt DC batteries. These are the same battery. They have a sticker, different sticker on the front and on the back, and one of them is facing that way and one of them is facing that way. But they are identical batteries. These batteries, I did not have the chat with me if anybody's asking questions, sorry. But these batteries were actually gifted to me by a friend. And if you watch the videos, I kind of explain that. Excuse me again. We do have a voltage monitor shunt deal, although the oh, it did catch up. Awesome, it finally figured it out. So I do have 5 kW now. It wasn't registering the other battery or something, but it is now. That's sweet. And that's, I think, as I cycle the system and it charges and discharges, it's going to learn more. But that is our main power switch that shuts the power off to the system. That is a 3000 watt pure sine wave inverter. It does have, in addition to regular plugs and USBs, it does have, I can hardwire a line set into that and put plugs throughout the van if I choose to. We got a bus bar down there for the ground, bus bar there for the power. We have a fuse for solar, a fuse for the alternator. This is the DC to DC charger. This will be the breaker for the solar panels. And that's the system. Oh yeah, and of course the DC 12 volt air conditioner. So there. Now we're gonna hook that back up and go back to the other place that has better air movement and the chat. And see what anybody had to say about all that. Jack? I think we're going to take this fan, actually. Yes. Stealing it. Stealing the fan. 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 Oh, that's going to be so nice until I trip over it. Tripping over the fan. Pew. Hello. I'll be checking the chat shortly. Stealing the fan first. Oh, that's gonna be so nice. Here we go. Okay, I'm gonna sit down. Sitting down. Axing. Oh my gosh. Hi, tree. I like that precision. I never understood. Whoo, catching my breath, catching my breath. So what's the plan for the van? Chris Farley didn't have all of this when he was living in a van down by the river. Nope. The shag carpets. The plan for the van, the rain in Spain falls mainly on the plane. I'm going to top off this water before I get comfortable again, and then we'll talk about the plan for the van. I'm going to remember that. The plan for the van for late apex, man. Hi, kitties. Yeah, hi. The liquid sound is me pumping water into my water bottle and not peeing on the cats right now. Whoa, don't spill. Oh, maximum village. Maximum village. Dude, y'all gotta see that shit. It's maximum village, y'all. Without any spillage. Oh, totally maximum village. Anyway. What were we talking about? The plan for the van. Yes, exactly. Got to hop me to do some posts, I promise. Right on, Tree. Thanks for stopping by. Swinging through, as I say. Appreciate it. Y'all, if you haven't, please drop the, smash that like button. I am going camping, and it is a project. It is not just a project, it is the project. It is primary project numero uno. Um, because my plan, big picture, is to travel while I still physically am able to enjoy it and enjoy hiking and enjoy that kind of stuff that I have enjoyed my whole life. Uh, budget. What I'm going for is budget as possible. We are going to do the math on what the system ended up costing. Uh, Not right this minute, but originally I was trying to stay under 1,000. I don't think I did that, especially if I count the more expensive batteries. Even though I didn't pay for them, I still want to throw those numbers into the mix. That's not really neither here nor there. Basically, what I'm after is a mobile hotel room, because I figure I am always going to be putting food in my stomach, whether I'm at home or on the road. Not that I'm going to be necessarily driving as much, but I'm always going to be putting fuel in the van if I'm driving, even around town and stuff like that. So, but fuel cost is the biggest thing. The thing with traveling is your lodging. So when you get hotel rooms, even if you get, in this day and age, a cheap hotel room is probably what, 70, a super cheap one's probably going to be $75, I would think, a night. I haven't really looked into it, but I know what I pay and where I'm willing to stay. But what this will do with air conditioning is allow me to have a place to sleep. I am building it basically as a stealth camper. I'm not trying to build it as a fancy camper, because I would like to be able to utilize the stealth camping that is still a possibility if you don't set up your device or your vehicle as an obvious camper. The other place that I have always camped is national forests, and I'm setting this van up to be boondock capable. I don't want to have to plug in at all. I want to be able to run off of the batteries that are in that van and the solar panels that are on the roof, and or charging when I drive in between destinations. So that is the plan for the van. Ta-da! No, that's not how auto YouTube channels do it. You just happen to have a new engine, $0, and subtract all the parts you sell. Pretty soon you got paid to build the project. Yeah, no. Black phone van. Yes, basically. Don't forget all the music festivals you will get to see. Right, so the reason that this van got built, the reason that I traded my Tacoma for this van, is I used to have, it's sitting out front, you've probably seen it in videos, a Volkswagen Eurovan that was my music festival travel. It was also my daily, just like this. When I got the Toyota Tacoma, I got a truck tent that went in the back. That was like $300 and something. And it fits beautifully, and it looks cool, and it's comfortable, relatively, for a tent. It gets you off the ground. There are advantages to it, but you still have to set it up like a tent every time, and da-da-da-da. Well, after almost 10 years, it was pretty much 10 years, the tent started, basically the last music festival that I went to and set up that tent, it rained and the tent leaked and my gear got wet. And that just got my gears rolling to get back into a van. And so that's what I'm setting this up for. So yes, music festivals, absolutely. To float it to Wales. Right. So the future project is I'm going to find an old pontoon boat and get the pontoons and put them on there with hydraulic drops, so we can just and drive off a boat ramp and then float across the ocean and go visit Sophia in Wales. And of course, Lion's Fish Shop and Raspberry Hedgehog and Lightning Bug and Tom and all the overseas audience. But I think we're going to have to wait for the $1 million YouTube channel before we're actually going to be able to fabricate all that. We could switch to the other cam though, since it's still on, even though there's nothing going on. On and on and on and 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 on. All right, that was fun. I'm going to switch back to this camera now because there's really nothing going on over there. Ding, ding, ding. 1, 2, 3. Lavender aromatherapy for me. Where are we at? 369. All right, we're just going to crank this thing because I think this is pretty much spent. We're going to 383. 383. I might just cost less to fly the van over the pond. Well, yeah, the thing is it's heavy, so getting it to fly is going to be a little bit more complicated. But yes, the Schmoke shuttle is also an idea. And I contemplated actually having the pontoons be on wings to where when the wings are extended at this flat level, then it can fly. But if you drop it down, 45 lower, then the pontoons are actually supporting the weight of the van. I've actually thought it all out. I just need a couple $1 billion and a team of... Oh, wait, I have an engineer. So there. Where are we at? Well, I made it an hour. That's good. Put it inside your C-130. Actually, it would be a Chinook would be what I would have. So, while we're talking aircraft fantasy, yeah, I want a Chinook helicopter and I want it to be tie-dyed. And I'm hoping that by the time that I can achieve that, Parliament Funkadelic will still be around. And I want to have them playing while I land in the center of the field out at the Spirit of the Swanee Music Park. Tie-dyed Chinook with a concert going on inside. The mothership has landed. Yep. That's at the $1 billion level, though, I think. So, join now. Wake up. Welcome in, my friend. Cedar, what's going on? It's a plane, it's a car, it's a boat. Plane car boat. The Sprinter. Da-da-da. CH-47 Model D. Yeah, there's a bunch of military. I'm in Jacksonville, Florida, so there's a lot of military stuff that goes on around here. And anybody who knows what a Chinook is, it has a very distinct sound. And if I'm in here, I can hear it, and I'll walk out, just watch it, because it's just an amazing. It doesn't seem like it should be doing what it's doing. Woo! Sorry, flashbacks. So in Boy Scouts, was it Boy Scout Camp or Scout World? Scout World, is that what it was called? Out here, they used to do it at the naval base, and so we get behind-the-scenes tours of a lot of the planes and hangars, and just got to swim in the pool where the airplane comes crashing down and all that stuff. You see them daily. Yep. They're cool. Like I said, and the sound is just, yep. It is a distinct sound. We ain't got nothing on Sophia. Sophia's got a tank practice range in her backyard. Like, literally. I love that bird. Many hours flying in them. I've been inside of one on the ground, but I've never flown in one. The only things I've flown in other than commercial are a Piper. Is it a Piper? And that was in the late 70s. You know, I was a kid, but I do remember it. And it was a friend of my dad's. And I got to hold the steering yoke. Pull up, pull up. Da 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 da. I'm dealing with it. Boop, boop, boop. Picky boop. What? So yeah, man. What camera are we on? We're on the right camera? Yeah, man. We have reached 95 degrees, which is the point at which it really starts to get uncomfortable. I don't want to throw. I don't want to throw a solar panel on the roof prematurely, because once I do that, I can no longer drive the van until it is fastened down. What I could do possibly is run the wires, except then I've got a wire flapping around. But we could look at the setup. That would be kind of exciting and fun. For those of you at all interested in solar power or anything like that are asking questions, tanks, lasers on the rotors. Yes, laser rotors. I think LED lights would be a little bit safer. Actually, the brightest laser I've ever seen was out in the field that I'm talking about, and it was probably 3:34 a.m. and somebody took it, turned it on, and went across the horizon, and it immediately went back off again, and I never saw it again because I think he knew how much trouble he'd be in. But it was amazing, actually. So, for those of you familiar with solar panels, these are a type of connection that I am not familiar enough with solar panels to know. I think, are they DINS? D-I-N-S connectors? And what we have here is a 10-foot piece with the connectors, and I'm not going to repeat that in case it's wrong, on one end, and plain wire on the other end. This is going to be on the roof. This end's going to be inside the van going to that breaker that I showed you earlier. From these, we're going to go and take this, will plug into there, pling, like so, branching this off into a total of 4 connectors, 2 positives and 2 negatives. That will allow me to link the 2 panels for the front to one cable going down to the DC to DC charger that can handle 2 panels. Then the same exact setup will be utilized on the back as long as everything works correctly. The only thing I'm lacking for the back is this right here, the splitters and the wire. But if I have enough to do both from this bundle of wire, I do have the connectors, but I don't have the splitters. I wonder what took Schmoke so long to do all this stuff. Cuckoo, cuckoo. So there, I'm checking the chat. MC4. That was a great band, man. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. I'm loving it. I don't think I have anything else cool to show y'all. Yes, MC4. And then the Din, what is the Dins one? The Dins is the small orange one, isn't it? I don't know what just happened there. That was weird. No, Dins is like MIDI. Never mind. That's music stuff. That's why that's in my head. Where is the rebel bass? Bass. Boing. In here. There's that. There's that. There's that. Where is the other one? That's it, I guess. No, that. Oh, there's that. There's that. No, that's that. So there's that. So that. Yeah, this one. This is the other one I'm thinking of. Wah. Oh man, you're usually so good at that. Pixie, what are you doing? This. Focus on that. Focus on that. My hand. Maybe. Come on, buddy. You could do it. There's a word on there. Oh, never mind. I'm not doing that anymore. Yeah. Bogard, welcome in, man. What's up? I didn't get notified. What the heck, YouTube? What do you think about the code that lies within the laser beam? I think you've really taken the deep dive on the whole DMT thing, Carrie. I think you should just go ahead and take the hit and experience the journey for yourself. I wouldn't play with laser beams, though. Once you've, Aldous Huxley, Doors of Perception, it's kind of amazing when I saw that video start coming around. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. Everybody doesn't see that. Once you've done a bunch of that kind of thing, you kind of see the symbols everywhere. Not everywhere, but in certain places. It's weird. But anyway. Howdy, Booger. Now we're not going to talk about that subject because this one's not going to get an adult content strike. Last time we went deep into that subject, I got an adult content strike, which demonetizes a video. Not that I'm monetized, but I'd still like to not. I'd like to keep as many of them monetizable as possible. We should do a members only camp out, and you'd be amazed at the things that I can make happen. Bonfire. That's neither here nor there. That's why DJ Real One won't come visit. He's afraid I'll dose him. I would never do that. I would never do that. I've had it happen to me at a time when I would not have. I specifically had expressed that I wasn't going to that weekend, and it happened. Because my mom was basically on her way out, but it turned out that it was a good experience overall. Never tried it. A B C D F G. LOL. Listen to some Alan Parsons. Okay. I can appreciate some Alan Parsons, but that's not where my mind went with music. I was a Pink Floyd in the early days of my psychonaut experiences. I should not be saying these words, but yeah, I was a Pink Floyd person. A lot of people were Led Zeppelin people. But I also got into stereophonic sound and all that stuff with headphones, and got into the Beatles when they started getting psychedelic, and I'm using all the fucking words. Sorry. Yeah, it's a subject I kind of like talking about sometimes, but I really shouldn't. So anyway, this is all Anything that happened in my previous life was for experimental purposes only, and this is all being talked about for educational purposes only. It is not recommended that you do any of these things that we may be mentioning or talking about at all. This show is for adults and adults only. Don't forget to tip these ladies as they work for tips and tips alone. Take care of your bartenders, and don't forget your doorman on the way out. Please put something in my coffee. That's a video game, Psychonauts. Yeah, it's a video game. Just plug in your controller, enjoy the ride. By the way, you have to play for 8 to 12 hours. And there's no turning it off. Sorry! Whee! I'm stuck in a loop, stuck in a loop, stuck in a loop, stuck in a loop. Anyhow, Tina can always help. I will help you on your journey. I wish I knew where the kids were. Y'all don't even know who the kids are. I think they're in the... They've got... I look for them regularly. And I always forget. But I think they're in the... I think the kids are in the camper. I know y'all can't really see me very well. I'm on a mission. I'm exploring. I'm going to have a speaker time. Good a time to speak, yeah? So you saying people gonna die? What moronic character was that from the Star Wars series? Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Why didn't they take him out? What? Hello? I got a steamer. You may say I'm a steamer. Speaking of steamers. Oh, dude. All that stuff's probably ruined. I got some really cool stuff, guys. Someday maybe you'll get to see it. Someday. What is that? That's a clock. What is that? That's my... Just kidding. I'm a poet. It's my small-scale model of the Empire State Building. Oh, wow. I forgot all about those. Oh, dude, is that where the... Man, I have so much stuff. Sorry, guys. I'm exploring the old eBay inventory again. I really need to just start listing this stuff. Do some 99... Oh, gosh! Faceplant on alternate cam. Faceplant on alternate cam. Alternate cam. Alternate cam. Alternate cam is hot. Turn alternate cam off. Deactivating alternate cam. Anyhow, sorry for all that distraction there that I just went through. I got stuck in a warp zone. Yeah, I need to reactivate the eBay account and start selling some of this stuff. That would be smart of me. Just do some 99-cent auctions. What happened? Just let me eat it. I have to leave that alone there, Sonya. Never mind. Yeah. Just gonna not go there. Just gonna not go there. Tina. Does that say 111 degrees? Why, yes, Schmoke, it does say 111 degrees. That's nice, dear. Well, 94 degrees feels like 111. Yay! 94 means it's actually starting to cool off outside, because it's 95 in here. Looks like we are going to get an evening shower, I hope, because that always helps. Yeah, helpful. Brown chicken. Moving on. Actually, that's what he said, sick. And never mind. Never mind. That's where we weren't going to go. See? All right, taking off the readers. Taking off the readers. Hey, Carrie, if you're still in here, I wonder if you could see the symbols better with the green filter on, man. Beep, boop, 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 beep, beep. Oh, there he is. He's saying goodbye as we speak. I don't know if you looked up in time to see me with my green filters. Beep, beep, boop, boop, boop. Yep. Dude, I'm totally wearing those to the next music festival. Have a good day. 73 degrees hot. Yeah, right. Round chicken, you're silly. Silly little poultry. Take it easy, Carrie. Absolutely. AKA Rob's neighbor. I will hang out here for a little while longer, but I'm going to need to run in and use the restroom and relieve myself of some of this green tea and possibly grab another. So I will be right back. Talk amongst yourselves. Ouch, my hair is caught in the microphone. That was painful. Tina, put on your little hat. Okay. I'll be back, kids. I'm leaving the microphone out there so you can't hear me. It's hot as out here. Oh my God, who the heck would want to work in this type of environment? Tina, are you crazy? Police have no clue if you holding and Lavender's hostage inside the home. Evacuation complete. Whew, that was like a road trip pee, y'all. Maybe we'll get a loop. Maybe we'll get a loop. No, we're not even going to try. That would be silly. Silly Schmoke is silly. Ooh. Man, I wish it wasn't 4 billion degrees. Maybe we'll open the garage at this point because it's not going to matter. He says, opening the blast furnace. Yeah, I mean, 6 and 1/2 dozen of the other. But if there's any type of a cool breeze, it's going to be like this. So there. Don't look at the light, Pixie. Time to go swimming. Hope you have a great day. Much love. You out of here, Sophia? Thank you for hanging out with us. Good to see you as always. Yep. Much love, Mama. Yeah, it's hot. We're going to hang out for a little while longer, but not too much longer. Probably long enough to just go ahead and completely violate the terms of use. The terms of use. Utilizing flame. Ha 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 ha. Open, thank you. Oh man, I just remembered this is ground for the vaporizer. It'll be okay. I just need a transference station. As my palms are sweaty, something about Mom's spaghetti. Y'all might have no idea what I'm talking about, and it's okay. I'm just getting something ready. Freddy! Well, it just rhymed. Bloop! You go in there now. And then you sprinkle around the sides. There you go. Okay, don't go in the hole until it's time. What? What did he just say, Tina? Don't go in the hole until it's time. Yeah, it's true. Speaking of which, what? Nothing really happened. Okay. I can't switch to the other camera because it seems to have turned off. Did I do that? Did I do that? I'm just going to walk over here for a minute and turn it back on, I guess. Boink. And while I'm here, oh my god, you can still see me. Stealth mode activated. Whoopsie. There we go. It's just like, I mean, with the fan blowing right on you, it's not that terrible. Anywhere else, it's pretty terrible. And that's Florida, for those of you wondering. That's my description of Florida. All right, we're going to switch to there. If anybody has any questions, don't be afraid to ask. I mean, I'm not going to give you my personal information, but if there's anything in the shop you wanted to see, don't hesitate to ask. It's kind of the point of the live chat. Because I am very, very rarely productive during a live chat. It's more of a community thing. I have had live chats late at night where I went live simply because I was hanging out in the van in one place doing something. But even those are not necessarily as productive as I would like. So there. Anyhow, for entertainment purposes, you want to see the cutest, tiniest little wire gland thing? Waterproof fitting deal? He's just so cute. He's smaller than my thumb. And he's a little waterproof seal. Whoops. If I point it the right way, you can see the hole getting smaller. If I continue to point it the right way, you can continue to get that effect. It's kind of hard to do that, though. But anyway, you could sort of see that. Now we're going to open it back up. You can't really see it, huh? It sort of worked, but not really, because you're looking in the wrong direction. Also, you're not even looking anymore. There you go. Oh, it's so hard to do it facing the camera. That's what she said. See the hole getting smaller? That's where it tightens around the wire. I don't know if you can see that at all. It's neat. It's tiny. It's cute. Yay! What's the plan for the rest of the day, Schmokes? Shut the garage, go inside, and sit in the air conditioning. I may I may start editing because I have the air conditioner installation footage. There may be a nap. I may go to the store. The reality is the only time that I can comfortably work out here is pretty much after midnight. So, you know, depending if a storm comes through, that changes everything. But if a storm doesn't come through, it's well into the 90s again and until midnight pretty much. Is the battery tray attached now? The battery tray is attached to the 3/4 inch plywood, which is attached to the wall. Big picture I'd like to attach at the bottom also, but it's fine, it's not going anywhere. Biggest concern I have right now with that would be the batteries themselves, which I may actually do today, need to be strapped to the stand. Again, I have been driving it to the store and driving it normally and haven't had an issue, but big picture, those batteries are heavy and need to be strapped down. They're not as heavy as lead acid, they're about half the weight, but those are still pretty big batteries. Mike, off the shoe and play with a laser. Have fun to the shop. Have a good day, Mike. What I need is a fan where you can't see, behind you, blowing right at my face. I think I'm going to shop for a fan. I might get on Amazon and find a 2-pack of small, relatively small, but bigger than those USB ones, like a 12-inch or something. You know, a 12-inch. That and taking over the world, always a goal, absolutely. But anyway, Tom, yeah, no, the ongoing plan is to get the solar panels on the roof, at least 2 of them. Make sure they are good and secure, good and tight, and once I know that, I'm probably going to work towards a nearby camping excursion, at least overnight, possibly 2 nights. That's really 2 nights is really the most I can do. without making external arrangements for cats and stuff like that. But that's what I want to do. That's what I would like to do. And then, oops, you're locked up again. The big picture, I need to. There's some stuff I wouldn't mind doing to the bug. Come on, Pixie. Pixie's tired. I don't want to throw a bunch of money at the bug, but there are some things that I would like to do to the bug, including getting the passenger side more stabilized and installing a passenger seat. I still would like to get my dad, get it out to my dad and let him drive it, because that was one of the goals with this car. He used to have a 1965 Volkswagen, and he has actually expressed an interest in driving it. He knows there are holes in the floor and stuff like that. He's not very excited about that, so I'm trying to make it as presentable as possible. So what I actually could do once I shore everything up and make sure that it's not raining is I have a carpet kit, and I could put the carpet in there and he would never know. But cats on location. Every inch counts. Yeah, I have 2 cats, Brown Chicken. I inherited them from my mom when she passed away, because regardless of the semantics, basically I ended up with 2 cats. I didn't want any more pets, but we couldn't find anyone to adopt them both, and I'm not going to separate them because they've been together since they were kittens. So I have 2 cats. Yay! I love them, but they're annoying, and they do things that remind me why I didn't want to have any more pets. Like, hey, I think I'm just going to take a shit over here today because I don't feel like walking downstairs and going to the cat litter box. Or, hey, there's a hairball here. Anyway, question, what's the plan for the maiden voyage in the van once wired up and ready? Festival in mind, campground, river, or mountains? I do not have anything locked in yet as far as the trial run. As far as the first real run, there's a couple things that I could utilize it. There's a concert nearby that I could. There's a state park, I believe, nearby where I could do an overnight thing. Music festival wise, October there is one coming up, and in February there's one that I already have tickets for. But again, big picture, all of that. Mountains, I want to come out to St. Augustine and hang out. I got, again, 2 other people off the top of my head, 2 other places. Anyway, one of them is a couple, so it's actually 4 other people. Never mind. There are people that I would like to see in St. Augustine and hang out with, and so St. Augustine is one of those spots. Is my point. That's all. But yeah, mountains, river, all that. I'm not a beach person particularly, but when I see Tom living the dream, when he goes to the beach, it's a pebbles kind of beach, and I could hang out there. But our sandy bullshit beach, I'm not interested in the sand. I would rather hang out at a nice freshwater lake or a river. But my favorite place really is up in the mountains, hanging out at the creeks and waterfalls and all that. That's where I plan to end up eventually. I appreciate the West Coast. There's some beautiful stuff out in the West Coast, but I like my tree canopy. I don't have one here because some asshole cut them all down, but I like being in the woods. Saves a lot on air conditioning for one thing, and there's, you know, a little bit of a barrier between you and the gigantic nuclear ball of fire in the sky blaring down at you. Um, check out that van, though. Ha ha ha! Smoke rings with the fan blowing on you. How about that? I want to go see the giant trees in the west. I'm heading to the woods next week, I think, for a week. So Shaggy Man is out on the west coast right now, California. He's doing Colorado. He's been all over the place. But I did a cross country trip. I mentioned basically a girlfriend of mine. Her camper was in California, and she was going to drive it across country. So I flew out, and we did that trip together. Unfortunately, without getting into details, what was going to be a 5-day trip turned into a 3-day trip or whatever. And so instead of having time to stop at all the cool places and hang out for a little while, we stopped at a couple places and went, oh, cool, and then hopped back in and started driving again. So I'd like to do that again, go out west. My thing right now, again, especially with the cats, is I can't leave for any period of time. Even if I have somebody checking on the cats a couple times, I could do a week, and that would be, I wouldn't want to push it further than that, really. Man, I'm behind you. You mounted some of the AC. I have not released that video, but yes, the AC works, Booger. Absolutely. I have not turned it on today simply because the drain line, I have to run the drain line out. And so for me to run it, basically, is just going to drain the battery. You can't see that it's cooling unless that reminds me. Let's find the infrared temperature gun, which hopefully does not have a battery in it. Here is a 9-volt battery, so hopefully we are still able to work. This is that plastic that it's sticky from the heat, like an old Chevy steering wheel. It's really unfortunate because I'm going to end up throwing this thing out unless there's a way to frickin' clean that sticky off, because my hands are sticky now. Sticky, ew, ew, sticky. Oh, we're still good. Yep. All right. 94.8. Let's look at the ceiling. 104, 5. You're not even looking. Pixie, what are you looking at? Look up here. Come on, look up. There you go. There we go. 106.7 is the ceiling, although we did see a high of 108.8. So where was that? Higher on the ceiling, maybe? Nope. Wow, we're looking at a bright light. Pixie likes bright lights. So let's go for the wall. The wall is 95.3, so that's not too bad. What's the fan? 107. Oh, wait, that's not good. 97. So basically we're blowing 97-degree air into our 95-degree garage. It's pretty much the opposite of what we would want to do, but whatever. Have a great day, everyone. Do something cool. 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 What's the floor? See, the floor is still 90 degrees. And the fan air-ish is like 93 degrees. So yeah, the fan helps here. Anyway, that was fun. Excuse me. So I'm glad this still works, because that means I'll be able to do the other shots I wanted to do for the air conditioning video. To complete that statement about the air conditioning video that is not out yet, but will be eventually. Booger, how do you make a Chevy steering wheel not got that sticky stuff on it anymore? Aren't you a Chevy guy? Or a GM guy at least? Is alcohol maybe? I don't think I have. Yeah, I do. I got freaking 91% pure isopropyl right here. Yeah. This is either going to screw it up worse or make it lots better. Or have no effect whatsoever. That is also a possibility. I asked a question and didn't wait for the answer. I just started experimenting. Ugh. It's probably going to make it, yeah, slimier and come off on your hands ear. Yep, that's awesome. Oh, yeah, that's getting much worse. I knew that was going to happen. Shit. Basically, we've created a glue now. Yeah, that's really unfortunate that this does that. I mean, look. And this thing isn't that dirty. It hasn't been used that much. It's just the plastic, outer layer of the plastic breaking down, pretty much. Although that really does look like filth. But again, it hasn't, I've only used it 4 or 5 times, really. Other than just looking at it. Wait, what? Sometimes I just look at it and I'm like, man, that thing is cool. It's like infrared and shit, man. What I really want, that alcohol should strip it down to bare plastic. One would hope. But it's definitely doing something. I don't know how many layers we've got before we actually get to a dry, non-sticky mode. Or if it just eventually just falls apart in my hand. And if there's a coating on this that does this, why would you continue to apply that coating as a manufacturer? Because clearly that's what it is there's a coating. You can't really see it, but yeah, there's a coating on there. And basically, like Beard said, the coating is coming off. So yeah, that's it's unfortunate. I wonder if goof off or something might actually work better. But yeah, now I'm all sticky and ooh. But I'm glad this thing still works. So there's that. Okay. Everything's going to be all right, though. But my hands, they stick together now. So crazy. Why am I talking like that? Oh, my God. That's gross. That's why. Because it's grody to the max. My inner valley girl came out. Yeah, I have an inner valley girl, don't you? I know at least some of y'all were around for Valley Girls. Totally. Johnny, it's me. Hi, welcome in. Where are we at? We're pushing 2 o'clock. That would be the 2-hour mark. I'm hanging in there. Hope you are doing well. Probably not going to hang out too much longer. So that did get it off of my hands very well. Very well. Tina, want to say hi to Shawnee? Hi, Shawnee. Pixie, focus. Shawnee, Shawnee. Pixie. Hi, Shawnee. Whoa. Hi. Hi, there I am. Hi. Boop. Hey, what are you doing? Oh, he's all messed up now. Pixie's like, oh, look, the sky. I like the sky. Oh. Hi. Remember me? That's the guy you're supposed to follow. Okay, I'll manually re-guide you. Hey, remember that? Remember me? Hi. 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 There you go. You got it. There you go. Good buddy. All right. Pixie, back in track. Ah. Oh, Sophia has already exited the building, actually. Unfortunately. Ooh, I still have some tea left. And it's already lukewarm. Unfortunately. All right, what else are we going to look at? What kind of exciting things can we display? Exciting things to put on display. Searching for something exciting. Oh, here's the battery straps. Yeah, there's going to be a nap in the near future. That's what's going to happen. I can tell because my back hurts. And maybe tonight it'll cool off some. Dropping the damn thing I wanted to hold on to. Boo. Were you surprised? From my boo? Ah! So, I did want to kind of look at these. They have little itty bitty pouches. Oh my god, it's actually sealed even. How cute. Individually sealed strapping brackets. Strapping brackets for your strapping pleasure. Oh, you can even see Pixie's reflection. Hey guys, it's me, Pixie. Hello, it is me, Pixie. I am your friend. I follow you everywhere. Just a reminder, Schmoke's not crazy. So here's our strappy strap. And then you put this, mount this to the, I'll mount this probably to the floor and one to the wall. And then it'll go around the whole battery on the rack, on the stand. And snug up and be good and tight. Yeah? Good and tight. Chip Force loves chrome. You have a ginormous treasure chest. Oh, you ain't seen nothing. I have, on the other side of that van is a bunch of old eBay inventory I used to sell on eBay. And I was just talking about that earlier. I actually need to go through that stuff and start selling it. I just got off of eBay because, well, multiple reasons why I got off, but I never got back on because it felt like they were taking all the profit out of it. But that's neither here nor there. Let's put this down somewhere that's not going to get destroyed immediately. And yet I will possibly remember that it's there. I think we're going to shut this down at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That'd be approximately 2 minutes from now, no matter what time zone you're in. Because a minute's a minute. Wow. So there, that's all. Just letting y'all know. As a matter of fact, I'm going to go back over there. Oh, y'all want to see though? There's the strap. Remember, that's the inside of the van. I could show you. Shawnee, I could show you. Some of it, I could show you. If you want to see? You want to see it? I could show you. All right, let's go. Transforming tripod into carrying stick. Closing hatch. So yeah, I got all kinds of stuff. Lots of treasures. That's actually something that would be more on y'all's side of the pond, but over here it's pretty rare. Old Radio Shack remote controlled car. There's a VHS camera in there. I had a thing for anniversary clocks for a while, so I got a couple of them. There's actually some really good ones. Some Tonka toys, another remote controlled car, some potato guns, some pierogi train track, or it's not pierogi, but something like that. Pergola, Peroni, I don't know. That's track. They're worth some money, believe it or not. An old vintage skateboard with light up wheels that I guess don't work any. Oh, yeah, they don't work anymore very well because the heat destroys everything. Some film projectors and slide projectors and 8-track players, fishing lures, slot cars, a Pong Sports, some coffee mugs with Darth Vader, some vintage air shocks. It's pretty ridiculous, all the crap that I have, actually. I'd really like to sell it all. Sell it all. Alright, we're going to shut that down now and check the chat. Wow. You're off soon. Thanks, Schmokes and all. Peace out, peeps. What brand of the clock? Off the top of my head, I don't remember. There's a KU, Kulo, Kuko, two of them are good ones. We'll just say that. It might be the two that were sitting there. That might be all I actually have left. Cluno? Clutho? I don't know. If you know clocks, you'd probably have figured it out from what I've said. But they're German. You know, porcelain faced, actual brass, not the plastic bullshit ones with the batteries in the back. Very interesting what brand it is. I'll look. Hang on. Making me work for it. I've already turned off the camera, really, but it's Clutho, isn't it? Clutho clock? I don't know. I know I'm stuck in a loop. Now I'm stuck in a loop. Kundo, Kundo. Yes, two of those are Kundos, and one of them is it's actually the most valuable one, but I can't quite see it. It's something else. Can I move that? Oh God, that's dangerous. Don't move that. Anyhow. Yeah, I don't know what the third one is, but two of them are Kundo clocks. Kundo. That was the anniversary clocks. Then there's this, which is a GM timer clock. So if you have an appliance you want to put on a timer, but on your like bedside clock or set an alarm for it, it's got a plug in the back. And it's a GE, and it's made in America. OG, baby. There, Where I Life is a manufacturer of this model. Yes, German clocks, absolutely. I somewhere still, I believe, have a cuckoo clock. From the Black Forest. Cuckoo. Never mind. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. Ooh, I think I just almost got attacked by a Pidal. Pidal man. He's gonna fucking bite your hand. Just kidding. He's friend. Pidal's friend. Oh my gosh. Alright, yep. Yep, it's time. Shutting down systems. Yeah, we're going to actually... We'll commence shutdown in the van and let you see that. from the 60s. Yeah, 40s, I believe, actually. A couple of those, one of those at least is from the 40s. We're going to go back to the other camera, and then you can watch me shut down the power system, because that'll be fun. That'll be something, right? Right, guys? Look at the bright lights. Oh, jeez. Terrible, terrible. Terrible cameraman. Alright, open the door back up. Hi. Oh, jeez. So we're going to shut down our fan. Shut off our inverter. Check our voltage just out of curiosity. 5.0 kilowatt hours. KW! Alright, that's good. Oh, I can't press that because there's a cover. But the light went out. Still at 99%. And man, we were running that little fan for a long time. So all of this power will run a small USB fan for a long period of time. Anyhow, we're going to commence shutdown utilizing this ginormous shutdown switch, which is very satisfying. Commencing shutdown. Please evacuate from the van. It is way too hot in there. Oh. Alright, so now we're going to take you off of there and shut you down because this phone is hot. Physically H-O-T hot. H-O-T hot. Oh my gosh. So now we got to switch back to the other one. And then turn this off completely. Because it feels like it's about to catch on fire. Shutting it down. Alright. I live 50 miles away from the Black Forest. That's cool, man. What's up, So Loud? I'm actually in the process of kind of shutting things down, letting people know, because it is now 97 degrees in here, and I'm not hanging out in that BS. So, trying not to get my beard caught in the fan. Turn that fan down to low. Close the garage door. Oh, turn these extra lights off. Remind myself to lubricate the garage door because it's doing some popping. Pop, popping, popping. At least it's not popping, locking. It's just popping. Ah. Excuse me. And with that being said, kids, I think I'm going to wrap this up. Because it's hot. And now that I've shut that, it's probably going to get hotter. But that's where we're at right now. Here in Jacksonville, Florida. 97 degrees, 56% humidity. That's Fahrenheit. I think the humidity is the same regardless, but the temperature is Fahrenheit. Tina wants to say bye. Bye, everyone. Good to see you. Sorry for the awkward wave. It wasn't that awkward, Tina. Anyhow, with that being said, So Loud, thanks for coming in. Sorry to shut it down right as you get here. Shawnee, same thing. Anybody who's lurking, y'all, I hope you subscribe. This is not normal. My long form content is completely different from my live stream content. It usually actually has some sort of a focus and a subject matter, as opposed to my live stream, which is kind of random and entertaining. More for the community. Either way, I hope y'all all have a wonderful day. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate each and every one of you being here. And as always, thanks for watching. Pressing the right button. Bye-bye.